Welcome to another video production from Slater Dozier Railroad Media. In this video, we see trains from a trip I took to Birmingham, Alabama in mid-February of 2024. We begin this video on February 16th, 2024 as NS 245 makes a reverse move in Norfolk Southern's Norris Yard in Irondale, Alabama. Trailing behind a mixture of Kansas City Southern and Canadian Pacific engines on NS 245 are 5 Florida East Coast ES44C4s that were being dropped off in Irondale. These engines will make another appearance later in this video. Ten minutes after NS 245 made its reverse move, NS 153, which would have a DC GEVO leading a Dash 9, would pull part of its train over the crossing for headroom before reversing back into Norris Yard. "15 minutes later, priority intermodal train NS29S would get a fresh crew and depart Irondale with a mixture of Norfolk Southern and Union Pacific power. This is a very well-known train for the Birmingham area, and almost always has some variation of Union Pacific power since it is bound for Union Pacific in Los Angeles, California. To get there, the train must first depart Norfolk Southern's Inman Yard in Atlanta, Georgia, and be interchanged to Canadian Pacific Kansas City in Meridian, Mississippi. CPKC then takes it from Meridian to Shreveport, Louisiana, which is what the SN29S represents, where Union Pacific will take the train from there through most of the southwestern United States to Los Angeles. I would then move to the 32nd Street interlocking closer to downtown Birmingham. Norfolk Southern's orange maintenance avoid locomotives would be stationed by the interlocking and would depart not long after I arrived. Big thanks to Stuart Lodge for letting me know about the imminent departure of the MOW units. We would spend the rest of the day filming trains around Birmingham with other local rail fans as well. After the MOW units departed Birmingham, NS 245 would roll over the diamond at 32nd Street to continue its journey south without the FEC motors. The 32nd Street Diamond is located near Sloss Furnace, which is a well-known Birmingham landmark. Once known as the Pittsburgh of the South, Birmingham was once very well known for its many iron deposits and steel manufacturing. Sloss was one of the many blast furnaces in Birmingham until production ceased in 1971. Today, it is a museum that is open to the public and also hosts a rail cam that has a good view of both the NS and CSX main lines. The next train to pass Sloss would be NS AB10 with a pair of SD60Es. NS 342 would not be far behind AB10 with a fresh AC-44 C6M rebuild leading the way towards its destination of Norris Yard in Irondale. NS A56 would rattle the diamond 10 minutes later with a -9 leading SD70 ACC NS 1806. NS 355 would follow minutes later with a pair of -9s leading this mixed freight bound for New Orleans, Louisiana. Sloss Furnace is also home to 282 Mikado type steam locomotive SLSF 4018, which is on static display outside the museum. While riding through Sloss Furnace, NS 394 would catch us both by surprise. Thoroughbred -9 NS 9721 along with SD70 M-2 NS 2749 would lead 394 over the diamond. We would head back over to Irondale to find NS 394 awaiting a fresh crew. I would realize long after this video was taken that NS 9721 would be my last catch of a Thoroughbred -9 leading a train. After a short lull in traffic, we would catch NS 187 making a reverse move into the yard with SD70 ACE BNSF 9327 trailing third of 3. A good condition P5 horn coming from the Alabama and Tennessee River Railroad would catch Stewart and I by surprise, and we would sprint over to a crossing near Norris Yard to get set up just in time to catch ATN train Z390. The ATN roster consists of several older EMD models, and this train would feature SD60M ATN 8733, formerly CSX, leading the way. The trailing engines would be GP40-2LW ATN 9651, formerly CN, SD40R ATN 7371, formerly SP, and SD60 Standard Cab ATN 8721, formerly CSX. We would sprint back to the caboose to get set up just in time for Amtrak 19 to come south with a pair of P42 DCs. These engines used to be the staple for Amtrak passenger service, but are in the process of being phased out in favor of newer Siemens ALC-42 Charger locomotives.
Norfolk Southern milepost 79.6.
There would be a break in traffic, so we would take a break as well for lunch at the nearby Irondale Cafe, which I highly recommend if you find yourself in Irondale near Norris Yard. NS 179 would be the next train through Irondale with a pair of GEVOs for power. NS-131 would depart Norris Yard 30 minutes later with the 5 FEC GEVOs from earlier in tow behind AC-44C6M NS-4375 and ES-44DC NS-7671. With Florida East Coast being a Class 2 railroad, their engines are never used for horsepower hours on other railroads, so seeing these 5 engines outside of the state of Florida was an extremely rare occasion. All 5 of these engines were bound for Mexico to be used on Ferromex. We would catch NS-131 once more at the 32nd Street Diamond. Once NS-131 cleared the diamond, we would drive east to Cook Springs, Alabama to intercept NS-156. A pair of wide cab EMDs would be the power for 156 with Thundercab SD70 ACE KCS 4053 leading non-Thundercab SD70 ACE NS-1008. Stewart and I would part ways after catching NS 156, and I would head west back to Birmingham.
Norfolk Southern, milepost 771.7. No defects.
My final catch of the day would be NS W46 at Control Point Brompton on the outskirts of Leeds, Alabama. I would wake up the next morning and head back over to Norris Yard just in time to catch NS 345 departing Irondale with SD70 ACE NS 1162 leading the way. An hour later, NS 15T with a pair of AC-44 C6Ms would clear the crossing in Irondale. NS-29S would get a fresh crew and depart Irondale 20 minutes later. C-44 ACM UP-5741 would lead SD-70 ACE UP-8572 and ES-44 DC CN-2329 out of Irondale on the next leg of the train's journey to the west coast. The next train into Norris Yard would be NS 384 with another colorful ash-up. SD-70M UP-4427 and SD-70 MAC WFRX 8964 would trail behind AC-44C6M NS-4734. ET-44AC NS-3605 would be the rear DPU facing out. NS 341 would depart Irondale 30 minutes later with a DC GEVO on the head end and an AC 44 C6M facing out on the rear of the train. Realizing that CSX was the only Class 1 railroad that I had not gotten on camera during my time in Birmingham, I would head south to Pelham, Alabama, which is another well-known railfanning hotspot in the Birmingham area. I would get the tripod set up just in time to catch CSX M645 with two veteran YN2 CW44 ACs leading the 4-engine lash-up. The next train through Pelham would be CSX M523 with a DC GEVO leading an EMD slug set. Another GEVO would be the mid-train DPU. Thank you for watching another video production from Slater Dozier Railroad Media. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to see more content like this.